Welcome to Modding Today, the news series that keeps you up to date with what's going on in the modding community. Look, I know Starfield is right around the corner. It also probably doesn't help a good portion of you are likely suffering from sleep withdrawal induced by Baldur's Gate 3. But with so many updates going on in the modding community, I felt it still warranted for me covering some of it. So get ready, because this episode is loaded to the brim with major updates. But before we get into it, are you looking to improve your overall intelligence and gain more knowledge? Well, look no further. Brilliant is the best way to learn science interactively, no matter your level. Whether it be math, programming, computer science, or interactively exploring topics from Kurzgesagt. Man, I adore that channel, especially their little cute birds. But anyways, I love science. After all, I studied math, biology, physics, and chemistry in my high school A-levels. In other words, I'm a huge nerd. But I'm also a massive proponent for self-improvement and becoming the best version of yourself. Brilliant is a fantastic tool for helping me achieve that goal, and I believe it can help you achieve it too. Their interactive lessons help you develop a strong foundational grasp in many different fields, as well as what I would argue is the most important knowledge a human being can learn. That being how to think and how to approach and solve problems. With tons of effective and interactive bite-sized lessons, it's great for busy people like myself to learn something new every day. Get 30 days for free by going to brilliant.org/Mern, and the first 200 of you will also get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. Nexus Mods has recently put out a community post talking about the future of Vortex, and they've put together a strong team to work on a Vortex successor called Nexus Mod App. The team consists of Helgari, Airy120, Insomnius, and Al12. Nexus Mod App will also be open source, and that is a massive W. I strongly believe Mod Organizer 2 has been so successful as an advanced modding manager due to anyone being able to contribute to its codebase, and there are so many strong benefits for the open source code format. I did initially have a major concern because I read in its documentation that it just copies mod files to the game, like Vortex. But thankfully my worries were cleared up after I reached out to Helgari. Let me try to break things down a bit, and listen well, because this is pretty useful information to understand regardless of whether you're interested in the Nexus Mod App or not. Let's first take a look at Vortex. Vortex uses hard links. When a mod is installed, it is directly put into your game folder, and there are numerous issues to this. Mod Organizer 2 uses file virtualization. Basically, your mods never actually get put into your game, which is much cleaner. When you launch your game in Mod Organizer 2, it hands your game a modified directory file, and it essentially fools your game into thinking they're actually in the data folder. It's a neat little trick, but this system still has drawbacks. Despite it being harmless, file virtualization can cause issues with a lot of antivirus software, because it essentially acts as a virus, as it overwrites the Windows API to do its magic, and Helgari explained to me that was the biggest drawback for them not to use it. This type of system also would be very difficult to implement across the board, as the Nexus Mod App is designed to work with many different games, and such a system would require them to reverse engineer every game they want to support. That type of thing is simply not feasible. It's also important to mention both of these systems can do destructive edits to the game folders. Though this is rare, it's still a potential risk. Nexus Mod App, however, uses an entirely new system. Alright, bear with me for a second. I hope I don't look like Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Class in session. Alright, so you download a mod from the Nexus. Don't make fun of my Miffy board. So you download a mod from the Nexus. Nexus Mod App then takes the mod and then packs them into a new versatile file format. And then it uses a very neat little trick of manipulating metadata to say, hey, so these mods should eventually end up in these folders in the game. Then before you run the game, a sync takes place between what your game should look like and what it actually looks like. And this is where Nexus Mod App shines. As once the files are installed, the game can be loaded normally, without hard links or virtual file systems, eliminating their drawbacks. They've decided to go full hog on the UI using Avalonia. They've proposed a UI similar to Blender, and this allows for a lot of flexibility. The proposed UI will feature panels that you can add and remove with movable separators, layouts that should be savable as JSON data, so imagine easily sharing this with your friends. Multi-monitor support with multiple windows from the app being able to be open all at once, and more. The system will, however, take a lot of time to make, though shouldn't be difficult. Another potential downside is that they might make components even more modular, so imagine them splitting up the downloader component into downloading, completed, and download performance panes. So 3 different things. But overall, I'm very excited to see all of these features in a mod manager. Vortex will continue to be Nexus's primary supported mod manager, as Nexus Mod App is currently in a pre-alpha state. It's a baby right now. But once the baby grows up, I see it being an absolute game changer, both metaphorically and literally. I will provide a link to the Nexus Mod App's roadmap in the description for those curious in its development. While there are no deadlines for their milestones, you can always check out what's coming up next. Sin Gaming has uploaded an update video for Odyssey of the Dragonborn, a huge DLC-sized mod, and the sequel to Ice Cream Assassin's Legacy of the Dragonborn project. So we all know Alduin was destined to start the new Kalpa. But well, things didn't really turn out well for him. Odyssey explores the consequences of Alduin being defeated, and is part of an 8-part mod series that tells the story of the battle for Mundus at large. The battle against Twinkie racist I mean the Thalmor. The battle against the Thalmor. You'll journey to provinces such as Blackmarsh, Elsewhere, Hammerfell, and others in each act. These new locations will be around the size of a Skyrim hold or two, but will be densely packed with interesting characters and environmental storytelling. Quests have been designed with emphasis on choices and consequences. So, instead of the illusion of choice like we see in vanilla, your decisions will shape the world and actually mean something. Additionally, with new weapon and armor sets, artifacts, archaeological discoveries to be discovered, and quirky NPCs to meet, Odyssey of the Dragonborn looks to be a loaded adventure that I can't wait to get into. Alright, so a teaser trailer for Apotheosis was dropped about a fortnight ago. So, in my opinion, most of the Elder Scrolls lore is pretty good. Let's just not talk about how all the events in ESO all take place in the same year. Haha. But I'm a huge fan of the Elder Scrolls esoteric lore. That stuff goes dummy hard. It makes me hard. Apotheosis delves into questions such as the nature of reality and what occurs after Kim, and explores both the Divines and Daedric princes in more detail. I'll save you too many details as I don't want to scare away those who aren't that into the lore. Let me just fix the camera for a second. But man, the aesthetics in this Apotheosis trailer is just I mean, just look at what Dio and his whole entire team are cooking. God damn. Honestly, I'm surprised not many YouTubers have really covered Apotheosis. The trailer also leads to a rabbit hole of an ARG that hasn't even been fully solved yet, though some users have managed to uncover some pretty interesting videos so far.
Behold, a blue star descends, a tear in the sky, an omen of impending upheaval. Oh, how we await with bated breath the advent of the new man.
The trailer gave me major Elden Ring vibes, just pushing that dark fantasy theme. Dio even used Modern Combat Overhaul from our website, and I'm seeing what seems to be cool bosses with phases? I'm blown away, in all honesty. And Bethesda, y'all better be taking some notes. Apologies. If you couldn't already tell, I love Lovecraftian horror and esoteric lore, and this is just my jam. Apotheosis is set to release in 2025, which is also the same release target year for Skyblivion. Heavy Burns released an official gameplay showcase during Skyblivion's ModCon. I'll quickly go over some of the important details, share my thoughts, and provide as few spoilers as possible. But I do highly recommend giving it a good watch if you have the time. We can see the city of Leowyn in the beginning portions of the video, as well as the interior of Leowyn's castle in its full viridescent glory. We then follow the player as they take a quest from Count Marius Caro to find out why a quirky orc named Zoga is instating her business at the castle. This side quest is one of the many 50 side quests we can expect to see in Skyblivion, and it brings us to Blackwood, one of the 9 different regions found in Cyrodiil. Blackwood features humid and foggy weather, as well as swampy wetlands. and it's clear the Skyblivion team have worked hard to bring this region to life. We also get to see an Ayleid dungeon that has been partially taken over by a group known as the Black Bow Bandits, as well as a new enemy type, that being Ayleid Wights. The Ayleid dungeon we see has been meticulously crafted, with the content and loot found within mirroring its inhabitants. And just like the many dungeons found in Skyrim, some good old traps are present as well. Later on, we see the player defeat one of the many unique enemies you can expect to find in Skyblivion, with goblin warlords, mysterious spirits, and even special mud crabs being mentioned as well. At one point, we also see the Truncheon of Submission. This weapon looks nothing like it did compared to Oblivion, and that's a good thing, because it's been completely overhauled with a slick custom model. We then later see a poor bandit being helplessly beaten down with it. During dialogue with some NPCs, a disposition meter can be seen, and at one point, bribery is used to raise said meter. We also get to see Skyblivion's UI in its full glory, and I have to say, it's looking very clean. Props to their UI designer. Though the showcase barely scratched the surface, seeing little details such as the player being able to ask guards for directions, to NPCs having their own daily routines just like in Skyrim, really give me hope that this project will turn out well. Additionally, they've released a roadmap of what they've finished and what they've got left, which I will share in the description so you can get a better idea of their progress moving forward. Damn, that was a lot to take in, wasn't it? Be sure to check the links in the description. Links are provided to all the trailers, videos, and articles I've covered. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and consider getting this beautiful poster, or that beautiful poster. Click the link over here to check out my merch. Also, big thanks to all my patrons for helping me produce the content you're watching. Take care, lads and lasses, and I will see you soon in Starfield. As once the game... Oh fuck.